Remember this story, it gripped the nation exactly 2 years ago today. A child America came to know as baby Lisa disappeared from her crib in the dead of night. Her parents quickly came under suspicion, but they've always claimed there was an intruder. Now, police have released a new image of what baby Lisa may look like as a 3-year-old. And now her mother breaks her silence in an emotional interview.
I think she's with a family somewhere. I think she's being loved. You don't take a baby to hurt her. You just don't. And human trafficking is real. I have always felt like she's okay and that she's going to come home. I've never lost that hope, that faith.
Mark Fuhrman joins us now. He is a former Los Angeles homicide detective and a Fox News contributor. Mark, it's been 2 years, and you know, with these tragic cases, what often happens is there's a flurry of media attention when the child first goes missing, and then the media turns, you know, its attention to other stories. What's happened in the past 2 years with this case? Are there any new leads?
Well, I think that the police department has probably made contact once again with Deborah Bradley. And they came out with this progression photo, quite possibly to stimulate interest and actually generate some kind of movement in the case. You know, the due diligence, they revisit possible homicide cases, and that's what this is, a possible homicide case. And Deborah Bradley, in the last 2 years, has still not answered the questions that the police had for the first 2 hours.
And you've always maintained, Mark, that Deborah Bradley knows more than she's saying and was perhaps involved in the child's disappearance. Why do you think that?
Well, you look at Deborah Bradley's story, which was flawed many times in many ways from the beginning. In fact, when Megyn Kelly did an interview on TV, she actually changed the timeline and then admitted that she was drunk during the time or the period that the baby was probably taken. You have several items that have not been adjudicated in this. A cadaver dog's keying on a location in her bedroom. The issue with the polygraph, her timeline, the drinking, the neighbors, and the absence of any evidence that another human being other than the family was in that house. No DNA, no trace evidence, no footprints, no fingerprints. Nothing.
Deborah Bradley, as you know, has been quiet for a long time, but she has now broken her silence. She's spoken out to the Fox affiliate there in Kansas City, and she says that there were never any cadaver dogs. She says now that the media got that wrong. She also says that she did okay on the polygraph, whatever that means. In your experience, do these age progression photos sometimes lead to new leads?
Well, I think that science has gone leaps and bounds with the technology we have with computers. But, you know, I think one of the key issues in this case, let's go back to the polygraph. I did okay. Well, inconclusive is not okay. And my experience when I've had suspects take polygraphs, it does not benefit me to tell them that they did badly or that they failed or that they passed sometimes. It's better to leave that hang in the air until there's evidence that would corroborate something. That is just a tool, and every detective knows they cannot use that in a court of law, and they can't use it for an arrest warrant or a search warrant. So it is a tool, and it seems that in this case that she was never told she passed it, and she was never told she was inconclusive. And she was never told she failed.
Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but media reports have suggested that the parents have always refused to do any interviews with authorities separately. They've done interviews together. Is there nothing police can do to force them to be interviewed separately and see if their stories jibe with each other?
Well, you certainly don't have to talk to the police. You can have an attorney, you can refuse to talk, but of course that brings some baggage with it. You focus on yourself as being the suspect, and she is clearly the suspect. There is not one thing she has ever done from the beginning that does not shift that focus from a suspect. And, you know, obviously when you have a family member that's close, no evidence of an outside intruder or suspect, you have to clear the family first. The father was cleared. There was nobody else in the house. She has not been cleared.
Mark Fuhrman, thanks so much for the update. Let's hope that this new age progression photo can bear some fruit. Thank you.
We'll see if it does make a break. 2 years down the road now.